Ghostly tales, yet mirrors of human life. Hey everyone! Welcome to Encountering Chinese, Ghostly Tales from Zhai. Today, I'm going to tell you 3 short stories. The first story is titled Sijian. In Yongnian County there was a Zhuren named Sijian. In the 4th year of the Kangxi reign, on the 28th day of the 9th month, Sijian personally killed his wife, Mrs. Li. As Sijian held the position of Zhuren, the local authorities in Yongnian County lacked the jurisdiction to handle this case. Therefore, they reported it to the Guangping Prefecture. Upon receiving the case, officials from the Guangping Prefecture were dispatched to Yongnian County for investigation. When the bailiffs escorted Sijian to the prefectural yamen, he unexpectedly seized a butcher knife from a nearby meat stall. Holding the knife, Sijian rushed into the city god temple and climbed onto the altar. He knelt before the deity, spoke to himself, saying, "The deity reproached me. I should not have believed the slanderous rumors spread by wicked people, causing confusion among neighbors in the village. The deity demands that I cut off my own ears." After saying this, he proceeded to cut off his left ear and threw it below the altar. Then, he continued, "The deity reproached me for deceiving others for money. Let me chop off my fingers." Following his words, he severed a finger from his left hand. Next, he said, "The deity reproached me for committing adultery. Let me cut off my genitals." Astonishingly, he castrated himself. After completing these acts, Sijian fell straight to the ground, unconscious. At that time, the governor Zhu Yunmen had already submitted a memorial to the court, requesting the removal of the academic title of Zhuren Sijian, which had just received approval from the imperial court. Unexpectedly, Sijian himself had already been prematurely executed by the ghostly executioner in the underworld. This story is what I found and transcribed from a compilation of official documents. The second story is titled 5 Mouflon Official. In Hejin County, Shaanxi Province, there was a man named Chang Tiyuan. When he was a Xiuzai, he once heard someone calling him 5 Mouflon Official in a dream. Chang Tiyuan woke up immediately and, recalling the dream, was delighted, believing that this dream was a good omen for his future career. After a few years, the surrounding areas of Hejin County were attacked by bandits, and Chang Tiyuan was captured, stripped of his clothes, and thrown into an empty room. It was the cold winter month, and the nights were unbearable. In the darkness, Chang Tiyuan groped around and unexpectedly found a few pieces of tattered sheepskin in the corner of the room. He wrapped himself in these sheepskins, thus preserving his life and avoiding freezing to death. When daylight came, Chang Tiyuan got up and checked the tattered sheepskins covering him. He counted them and found exactly 5. Looking at these 5 sheepskins, Chang Tiyuan couldn't help but chuckle, realizing that the gods had played a joke on him. Later, he was finally appointed as the county magistrate of Luonan County as a tribute student. This story was recorded by Mr. B. Zhai. The third story is titled Black Beast. I once heard my great-grandfather Li Jingyi tell such a story. The story is about a person in Shenyang. One day, this person hosted a banquet on a mountaintop. When he looked down from the mountain, he saw a tiger seemingly carrying something in its mouth approaching from a distance. The tiger walked to a large tree, dug a hole in the ground with its claws, and buried what it had in its mouth in the hole. Soon after, the tiger covered the hole and left. The person then sent a servant down the mountain to see what the tiger had buried. When the servant returned, he reported that the tiger had buried a dead deer. The person then had the deer dug out and the hole casually covered up again. After a while, the tiger actually led a black wild beast back. The black beast had fur about a few inches long. The tiger walked in front, and the black beast seemed like an honored guest it had invited. They arrived at the hole, and the black beast crouched on the side, staring at the tiger with fierce eyes. The tiger reached out its claws into the hole but found the dead deer was gone. It was suddenly terrified and trembled all over, crawling on the ground without daring to move. The black beast, enraged by the deception, struck the tiger's forehead with its claws. The tiger fell to the ground and died instantly, and then the black beast left in disappointment. At the end of the story, the author provided the following commentary. This black beast doesn't have a known name. However, judging by the person's description, its size is certainly not larger than that of a tiger. Yet, why would the usually fierce tiger fear it so much, willingly extending its neck to await death? In this world, everything is subject to some kind of constraint, and understanding this principle is truly challenging. Take, for example, the langurs, which fear the mandrill. When they see a mandrill from afar, even if there are dozens or hundreds of langurs, they immediately kneel down without daring to flee. The langurs gaze fixedly at the mandrill, respectfully awaiting its arrival. The mandrill then uses its hands to assess the leanness or plumpness of each langur. If one is deemed fat, the mandrill places a stone on its head as a mark. Astonishingly, the langur then stands still, terrified of the stone falling to the ground. Once the mandrill has finished assessing all the langurs and marking them, it proceeds to eat the plump ones in order, following the sequence of the stones. Only then do the remaining langurs dare to scatter. I've mentioned before that corrupt officials are like mandrills. They also mark people based on their wealth and then proceed to devour the people's possessions according to these markings. Astonishingly, the common people bow their heads and submit, allowing themselves to be preyed upon, without daring to make a sound. Their ignorant and submissive demeanor is just like that of the langurs, truly a cause for sorrow. Alright. That's all for today's ghostly tales. Li Sijian, 5 Mouflon Official, and Black Beast. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Please also encourage everyone to comment and share more. We'll see you in the next episode.